Good evening, everybody. Today we will talk about lesson 1 in algebra for part 3, which is the Cartesian product. Before we start, we need to know what is the meaning of an ordered pair. The ordered pair is written as a bracket like this bracket. Take care of this point because to write an ordered pair, please don't write like this because it's called set or braces for a set, and don't write A and B in this form because it's called an interval form. So to write an ordered pair A and B, it should be written in the form A and B like this bracket ordered pair. So don't write like a set, don't write like an interval, but write like an ordered pair. So what is the meaning of an ordered pair? The word order means that the order of the two letters is very important. This means that when I say an ordered pair A and B, it means that A is the first image and B is called the second image, or A is called the first projection, but B is called the second projection. To locate A and B, or the ordered pair A and B, on the Cartesian plane or on the graph, we move on x-axis, on the horizontal axis, the distance A, then we move upward or downward the distance B. When I say that I have two equal ordered pairs A and B equals to x and y, this means that the two first projections are equal. This means that A is equal to x and B is equal to y. For example, when I say the ordered pair A and B equals to the ordered pair 3 and negative 4, as we said before, the first image is equals to the first image, or the first projection is equals to the first projection. This means that A equals 3 and B equals negative 4 because the second image is equal to the second image in the second order. Also, when I say the ordered pair x and 2 equals negative 5 and y, this means that x is equal to negative 5 and y is equal to. So again, repeat with me. When we say that we have two equal ordered pair, the first number or the first image in the first ordered pairs equals the first number in the second ordered pair. The second number in the first ordered pair equals the second number in the second ordered pair. Here we will solve some examples to check our concentration. The first one, 3 and 8 ordered pairs is equal to 3 and square root y. What is the value of cubic root y? This means that square root y equals 8. So it's like I'm solving an equation. When solving an equation, if you have a square root, we will apply the power 2 for both sides. This means that y equals 64. So take care, don't choose 64. He is asking you about cubic root y. So I will apply cubic root for both sides. It will be equals 4. Then cubic root y equals cubic root 64, which is 4. The second one, he is asking me about an ordered pair 32 and x plus y equals y to the power 5 and 2. Let me divide my copybook into two parts. First part, that y to the power 5 equals 32. The second part, that x plus y equals 2. Because you told me that the first images should be equal and the second images or the second projections should be also equal. So, to find the value of y, when I had the square root, I apply, when I had the power 2, I apply square root. When I had the power 3, I apply cubic root. So, when I had a power 5, so I will apply fifth root, which is opposite to the power 5. Or, if you can't find the fifth root, which is like this, fifth root, you will find that the fifth root of the 32 equals 2. If you can't find it, you can, as simple as possible, you will check the numbers to the power 5 to get 32. For example, I will try 3 to the power 5 equals 32, no. 2 to the power 5 equals 32, yes, then the answer y is equals to 5. Let's go to the another equation, x plus y equals 2. Okay, we get the value of y equals 2, so I will substitute or replace y and put instead of it 2. X plus 2 equals 2 by putting 2 for the other hand side on my right hand side, or it will pass the equal sign, it will be inversed or reversed. How to make x equals 2 minus 2, or in other words, we can subtract 2 from both sides to get x equals 2 minus 2 equals 0. So what is the value of x? The value of x equals 0. Okay, let's continue. Another two examples. The first one, 2 power x minus 1 and negative 3 equals 1 and y. First of all, I will say that 2 to the power x minus 1 equals 1, and on the other hand, y equals negative 3. I got y equals negative 3, which is final answer. So what about 2 power x minus 1 equal 1? For your revision, don't forget that any number to the power 0, except 0 by the way, any number to the power 0 equals 1. So x minus 1 means 0. By putting 1 on the other side, in opposite sign, then I got that x equals 1 and y equals negative 3. It's not the question to find x and y, the question to find the value of 2x minus y. So I will replace x and put 1, I will replace y and put negative 3. So it will be 2 times 1 minus y, which is negative 3. Don't forget that negative and negative will be a positive sign, so 2 plus 3, it will be 5. The other question, let's see what about it. X power 2 minus 1 and 4 equals 48 and 2y. What is the value of x multiplied by y? You know that x is standing behind y. This means that I would like to multiply x and y together. First of all, as we said, we will divide our capital into 2 parts. To say that x squared minus 1 equals 48, first image equals the first image, the second image equals the second image, then 2y equals 4. I will solve the equation to get the value of x by putting 1 here in the positive sign, opposite sign. It will be 49. What about the power 2? I will apply a square root for both sides. Then x will be positive or negative 7. Don't forget that when I put square root, I put the square root. Don't forget to put behind it the positive and negative signs. So x is positive or negative 7. What about y? 2y equals 4. Dividing by 2 for both sides to get that y equals 2. Then the value of x multiplied by y, it means positive or negative 7 multiplied by 2. 7 times 2 equals 14. So it will be positive or negative 14 because the square roots get me 2 different sides. Okay, the next part we will talk about the Cartesian product of 2 finite sets. What is the meaning of 2 finite sets? 2 finite sets, like for example x equals 1 and 2 and y 5 and 7 and 8. Here we have some specific values. It's not an infinite set. The infinite sets, for example, like the counting numbers, when you count, you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on, and you can't find an end, like the natural numbers, the real numbers. Here, I talk about specific values, limited sets, a set of limited numbers, which is x equals 1 and x 1 or 2, y equals 5 or 7 or 8. What is the meaning of Cartesian product? What is the meaning of x product y? What is the meaning to what I'm looking forward to find? The Cartesian product of the set x by the set y, which is written in this form, x product y, is the set of all ordered pairs whose first projection from the set x and second projection from the set y. This means that I'm asking you to find all the possible ordered pairs. As we said in the previous slide, the word ordered pair means I have 2 numbers, first image and second image, first projection and second projection. The first projection is from the set X, and the second projection is from the set Y. So when I say X product Y, this means I will take each element from X, like 1, once with 5 and with 7 with 8, and the other one 2 with 5, also with 7 and with 8. To write it as an ordered pair, as you see in all these ordered pairs, the first image from X, the second from Y. First from X, second from Y. First from X, second from Y, and so on. These ordered pairs can be represented by two methods. The first method is called the arrow diagram. What is the meaning of the arrow diagram? The arrow diagram means that I will put the two sets, as you see here in this figure, X, 1 and 2, Y is 5 and 7 and 8. I'm putting only the numbers inside each set. So after that, I will join and follow the ordered pairs. First of all, I said 1 was 5, so I will join an arrow from 1 to 5. I said 1 and 7, I will join an arrow from 1 to 7. I said 1 and 8, I will join an arrow from 1 to 8, and the same with the number 2. The second method, or the second way to represent the X product Y is called the Cartesian diagram. The Cartesian diagram, or the graphical diagram. What is the meaning of the Cartesian diagram? The Cartesian diagram is to make two lines. One of them is horizontal, which is representing the first set. Take care of this point. The horizontal is always representing the first set, and the other one, the vertical line or the vertical axis, the second set. And take care that we are representing a limited set. A limited set, so we say 1 and 2 only. I'm not drawing like this to make an arrow and a ray to complete, a ray to complete. This ray means that you are completing to the infinite. And how to complete to the infinite, and I'm talking to a limited set. So take care and don't do like this. Okay? After that, we will locate the ordered pairs on the graph or on the Cartesian diagram. When I say 1 and 5, I will move to 1 and jump up to 5. I will move to 2 and jump up to 5, and so on. So, we can say, when I need to find Y product X, okay, what is the difference between X product Y and Y product X? First of all, before we start, you should know that X product Y not equal Y product X. Why? Because in the first case, I started with X as the first projection, while in the second case, I started with Y as the first projection. So they are not equal at all. Because the first slide, we said that two equal ordered pairs means that the first image in the first ordered pair equals the first image in the second ordered pair, and so on. So how can you tell me that 5 and 1 is equal to 1 and 5? It's impossible, they are not equal. How can you tell me that 5 and 2 is equal to 2 and 5? It's not equal. So take care of this mistake. When I say to you, find the Cartesian product of Y and X, you will start with Y. When I say to you, you will start with Y, you will recognize three things. The first one, in writing the ordered pairs, I will start with X with Y instead of X, because he said to me, or he asked me to find all the ordered pair whose first projection from Y and second projection from X. So on writing the ordered pairs, I will start with Y then X. I will start with Y then X. The second one is on drawing the arrow diagram, or on representing on the arrow diagram, you should start with Y and sending arrows to X. And on the Cartesian diagram, Y will be on the horizontal line, because it's the first set, and X will be on the vertical line. So take care from these details. The next part, we will talk about how to make a Cartesian product of a set by itself. In the previous example, We don't have to make a Cartesian product from x to y or from y to x. What about making a Cartesian product from x to x? This means for me, I should recognize 3 points. First one, when I'm writing the ordered pairs, I will start with x in the first projection and also x in the second projection, because you said to me it's an ordered pair on x in the first image, x in the first image, and x in the second image, x in the first, x in the second, x in the first, x in the second, and so on. The second point is to recognize that on writing the arrow diagram, the first set will be x and the second is also x. And in the Cartesian diagram, I will put x as a horizontal line and also x as a vertical line. Very important point to take care. When I say x power 2, it's not equal 1 and 1 and 2 and 2. A lot of us will do this mistake. Take care of this. When I say x squared, it's not like this. I don't mean to repeat the numbers together. No. I mean that I have a set which is called x and another set which is called x. This x has 1 and 2 and this x also has 1 and 2. So I will join an arrow from 1 to 1 and from 1 to 2 also. From 2 to 1 and from 2 to 2 also. So take care from this point because a lot of us will do this mistake. The last point to talk about it in this part. What about finding the number of elements in the Cartesian product without finding the Cartesian product? So, Mr. What do you mean? I mean that I got the set x, which is 2 and negative 1 and 2, and the set y, which is 5 and negative 7. So I recognize that the number of elements in the set x are 1, 2, 3. They are 3. I just need their number. I don't need from you to get their sum, their difference, their product. It's not my business. I'm just asking you to find their number, only your number. And what about the number of elements in y? 5 and negative 7 are 2 elements. So when I perform the operation x product y, what is the number of x product y? I here need only the number. To find the number of elements of x product y, which is by the way equals to the number of elements of y product x, I will do number of elements of x multiply number of elements of y. So x has 3 elements and y has 2 elements, so 3 by 2 equals 6. Also y by x, I will make the number of y multiplied by the number of elements of x to get also 6, which is the same. So take care, I said to you, x product y not equal y product x. Take care of this point. Take care of this point. X product y not equal y product x. But number of elements of x product y equal number of elements of y product x. So what about asking you to find the number of elements of x squared or x to the power 2? You will say to me, take care, x has 3 elements. So to find the number of x squared, I will make 3 to the power 2 because x squared means I will take all the elements of x with each other, with the elements of x also. So it will be like the same to find the number of y squared. So again and again, I repeat with you that to find x product y, it's not equal y product x, but the number of elements of x product y are equal the number of elements of y product x. Let's solve together some examples to see what we start. If x equals 0 and 2 and number of elements of y equals 5, what about the number of elements of x product y? If you see, x has only 0 and 2, so the number of elements of x equals 2. To find the number of elements of x product y, I will make number of elements of x multiplied by number of elements of y, which is 2 multiplied by 5 to get 10. Look at the next example. Number of elements of y equals 4. Number of elements of x product y equals 8. What about the number of elements of x? Here I will solve an equation. Take care. Number of elements of x product y means number of x multiplied number of y equals 8. You said to me that number of y equals 4. What about number of x? I will put 4 here with the division sign. So the number of elements of x will be 8 divided by 4 to be 2 equals 2. The number of elements of x squared equals 9. Number of elements of y squared equals 16. I don't need the number of elements of x squared. I need the number of elements of x, which is square root 3. I don't need the number of elements of y squared. I need the number of elements of y, which is the square root of 16 equals 4. So the number of elements of y product x equals number of elements of y multiplied by number of elements of x, which is 4 multiplied by 3. I think it will be 12. Let's do more examples. If x equals 1 and 2 and y equals 3 and 4 and 5, find x product y. Okay? Representing by the arrow diagram and the Cartesian diagram. I will start with the arrow diagram. Like this. Here it's x and on the other side y. X has only 1 and 2, y has only 3 and 4 and 5. I will join arrows from x to y. I will put the arrows from x, starting with x and moving to y like this. 1 joined with 3 and with 4 with 5. The 2 once with 3, once with 4, once with 5. I will write it as a relation or as an ordered pair. X product y, first of all, I said 1 with 3, 1 with 4, 1 with 5. After finishing 1, I will go to 2 with 3, 2 with 4, 2 with 5. Great. What about the Cartesian diagram? As we said, the Cartesian diagram is making like this. First, we started with x, so x will be the horizontal line, and then y, which is the vertical line. Then we will do x has only 1 and has only 2. Y has only 3 and 4 and 5. 1 once with 3 with 4 with 5, 2 once with 3 with 4 with 5. For my check, I got 3 dots here, I got 6 dots here, I got 6 arrows here, I got 6 ordered pairs, so it's perfect. Next example. X equals 1 and 2 and 3, y equals 4. Find x product y. Let's answer. I will take each element from x to put it with each element in y. So it will be 1 once with 4, it's just 4. 2 with 4, 3 with 4. Second one, y with x. Take care, my friend. I told you that x product y not equal y product x. So I will start with y. It will be 4 with 1, 4 with 2, 4 with 3. Note and remember that x product y not equal y product x. However, they have the same number of ordered pairs. The second part is y, or the third part is y squared. Don't try it. 4 squared equals 16. It's wrong. You are finding the ordered pair y squared. So I have a set which is called y, have the element 4 and y has the element 4. So I will join 4 with 4. It will be an ordered pair 4. The last one is not to find x squared, but to find only the number of elements of x squared. Here I see that x has only 1 and 2 and 3, which are 3 elements, so it will be 3 to the power 2, which is 9. Okay? The next example, x equals 2 and negative 1, 4 equals 4 and 0, z equals 4, 5, negative 2. First part, find x product y. So I will take each element from x to put it in an ordered pair with each element in y. So x product y equals, I will start with 2 with 4, 2 with 0, and negative 1 with 4, negative 1 with Second one is y product z. To find y product z, I will find all the ordered pairs starting with the images from y, then the images of z. Then I will take 4 and 4, 4 is 5, 4 is negative 2, the second part is 0 is 4, 0 is 5, 0 is negative 2. The third one, to find x squared. When I say x squared, I will operate like x and x. So it will be, don't do the famous mistake to write 2, 2, negative 1, negative 1. No, it will be 2 and 2, 2 and negative 1, and negative 1 with 2, negative 1 with negative 1. Find for it. Number 4, he is just asking me about the number of elements of x product z, which is number of elements of x multiplied by number of elements of z. The x has only 2 elements, z has only 3 elements, 2 multiplied by 3, which is equal to 6. He didn't ask me to find these 6 ordered pairs. He's just asking me to find the number 5, number of y squared. Number of y squared, I see that y has only 2 images, which is 4 and 0, so it will be 2 to the power 2, which is 4. Number 6, the last one, he is asking me about number of z squared. Number of z squared equals, z has 1, 2, 3 elements, so it will be 3 to the power 2 to get 9 images, or 9 orders. He is not asking me about these 9 order pairs, but he is asking me only to find their number. The next example is the same example, but how to represent x squared. I wrote it again to show you how to represent x squared or y product z as an arrow diagram or as a Cartesian diagram. To find y product z as an arrow diagram, I will start with y and go to z. Y has 4 and 0, and z has 4, 5, negative 2. So I will join this like this. To find the Cartesian diagram of x, I will write here x, and also I will write here x. X on the horizontal line and x on the vertical line. What about it? 2 and negative 1, here also 2 and negative 1. I will put here dot of 2 and 2, 2 and negative 1, negative 1 and 2, and negative 1 with negative 1. And after finishing, close it like this. Somebody like to join this line like this, but it's not important as you see. Okay. The next example is x product y. Here, the given in the question, he did the operation of the Cartesian product. He did x product y. 2 and 6, 2 and 9, 3, 6, 3, 9, 5, 6, 5, 9. And he's asking me to find x and y. As I told you before, when I say x product y means each first element or first projection in all the ordered pairs from the set x and each second element from the set y. So to find x, I will take the first only. It will be 2 and 2. Don't repeat in the set. In the ordered pair I can repeat, but in the set I can't. 3 and 3 I can't repeat. 5 and 5 I can't repeat. It will be 2 and 3 and 5. Y equals the second images. 6, 9, 6, 9, 6, 9. So it will be 6 and 9 both. The next question. X equals 3 and 4, y equals 4 and 5, z equals 6 and 5. Then find x product y intersect v. This sign means intersect. Here I'm asking you about the common numbers between y and z, the repeated numbers in the set y and the set z. So to find x product y intersect z, it will mean that 3 and 4 in Cartesian product with 5 to be 3 with 5 as an ordered pair and 4 with 5 as an ordered pair. the second one. What is the meaning of x difference y? I'm asking you what are the elements in the set x which are not in the set y. So I think it will be 3 only. 3 and 4, here 4 and 5. 4 is common in both sets, so 3 is the only x is a difference y. So it will be 3 multiplied over product, Cartesian product is z, which is 6 and 5, so we will write 3 with 6 ones and 3 with 5 the other one. The last one, x difference y multiplied by y difference z. X difference y, as we said, it's 3. Y difference z, 4 and 5, 6 and 5. What is the element which lies in the set y and doesn't exist in the set z? I think it's 4. So don't write 3 multiplied by 4 equals 12. I'm not doing multiplication operation. I'm finding their Cartesian product. So it will be an ordered pair inside the set 3 and 4. The next one, and let's do some operations or some examples to locate the ordered pairs. Before we start to locating the ordered pairs, you should revise with me some very important points. The first point that we have 4 quadrants. This is the first quadrant, the second quadrant, and it's called the third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. If you don't like this writing method, okay, you will cancel it. Okay, you can write first, second, third, and fourth. In the first quadrant, x and y, both of them is always positive. In the second quadrant, x is positive but y is negative. While in the third quadrant, x and y, both of them are negative, and in the fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. Moreover, the second important point is that any point lies on x-axis, its y coordinates equal 0, and any point lies on y-axis, its coordinates equal 0. Let's solve together. Which of the following points lies on the second quadrant? In the second quadrant, x has a negative sign and y has positive sign, so it will be in the second. While 3 and 2, both of them is positive, so it's in the first. And negative 3, negative 2, both of them is negative in the third quad. 2, negative 3, it's in the fourth quad, because in the fourth quad, x is positive while y is negative. A minus b and 5 lies on y-axis. Any point on y-axis, so a minus b should equal 0. A minus b equals 0 if a equals b. The third point, 5 and b minus 7 is located on x-axis. If it is located on x-axis, then b minus 7 should equal 0, because any point on x-axis, its y should equal or its second image equals 0. I will put 7 here, so b will be equal 7. X and 7 lies on y-axis. If it's on y-axis, then x equals 0. To find this value, 5 multiplied by 0 plus 1, it will be equal to 1. The last one, x plus 1 and cube root 27 equals negative 1 and y. So x plus 1 equals negative 1. This means that x is equal to negative 2 and y equals cube root 27, which is equals 3. So the ordered pair x and y equals negative 2 and 3. X is negative and y is positive, so I'm in the second quadrant. Here we have finished our first lesson in the algebra part for part 3. I wish you good luck, but please don't forget to solve all these examples and solve more examples to see you in the next video.